seen other people that have been charged with Farah in that he directly communicated to the White House. I'll give you an example of that. According to the indictment, on or about September 22nd of 2017, Barrack met with one of the Emirati officials who's charged in this case, Chris. After that meeting on September 25th, Tom Barrack, through his assistant, sent an email to the executive assistant to the president, President Trump, requesting to speak with them as he had, quote, something very important to share about the Middle East. So this was an effort to directly lobby the president of the United States. You know, one thing that I tend to do, Chris, when we go through these indictments, whenever somebody's charged with making false statements to the FBI, and in this instance, Tom Barrack is charged with several counts of doing exactly that, is to see what they say, that some of the things that he lied about. One of the interesting things that apparently he lied about is that back in 2016, in the summer during the campaign, as you remember, this would have been just coming out of the RNC, Barrack apparently received a separate telephone, separate cell phone, as well as an encrypted messaging app, so he could have this kind of a backdoor or private communication with the Emiratis. The FBI here quotes some text messages back and forth. So apparently it wasn't that private, but apparently they had this messaging system back and forth. He also lied to them on several occasions about what he was doing, including fictitious and fraudulent statements and representations to the FBI that after the 2016 presidential election, Barrack had no role in facilitating communications between President-elect and officials from the United Emirates, including the two officials that were charged here, as well as some ongoing communications that continued into the fall of 2017. So this wasn't just while Barrack was working with the Trump campaign or through his time in the inaugural, but in fact continued well into the Trump presidency. So a couple of interesting things there. We do anticipate, and we have been told to expect a court appearance by Barrack in Los Angeles later this afternoon. We don't expect it to be a significant appearance at this point. In other words, we're not going to hear an awful lot because he's going to be extradited at some point to New York. The charges are out of the United States Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of New York, which is in Brooklyn. So at some point there'll be more substantial court proceedings there, but he will have a first appearance this afternoon, and presumably the others charged in this case will have those as well. Barrack, according to our colleague Andrew Blankstein, was arrested this morning in the Los Angeles area. That's where he had his business in Colony Capital, which was, and as Pete Williams reported, part of his substantial background and history with the president, their common ties in the real estate world, or common interests, I should say. Chris.
Tom, thank you so much for that. Joining us